I know some people had questioned the wisdom of me leaving and starting the journey with virtually no funds. But now that I'm here in Fort Pierce, sitting on this bench swing here by the inlet, overlooking the inlet, I think it was the wise thing to do. Being stuck in Brevard County, dealing with the police, the court, DCF, my ex-wife, visitation with my kids, get to see them, but I had to fight to see them each time, and my children wanting to see me and having to fight. It wears you down. And then, dealing with the child support issue, getting work, and actually, they pretty much took everything, leaving me nothing. It's depressing. So, I left. Now, I sort of have a plan of what I want to do and where I want to go, but it's kind of open. The biggest thing that I want to do is I want to get out and see and do things before it's too late. And we'll talk about that here. But it is so relaxing out here. Look at that little boat out there. Seagulls are flying around. The sun is nice, and there's a breeze. And there's a pelican in my view. It's a great day. Had I stayed in Brevard County, I would probably be either beachside there or still at the compound. More than likely at the compound because I was on conservation mode, trying to save gas and money and everything. And while I expended some gas to get here, I'm actually only probably about 35 miles, 40 miles south of Palm Bay. I have to double check my odometer. So it's really not much more than me driving back and forth from the beachside to the compound twice or so. And yet I'm in a totally different town now with a different vibe. And my brain, my head is getting a chance to clear up a little bit. I still need to figure out my financial situation, but somebody suggested learning WordPress and making websites with those. And you know what? I think I may do that. That's a skill that could be learned without too much hassle. And people are always looking to hire WordPress to do with their website for them in WordPress, or just do a website. I had been offering my services before as a website developer, because I do run like website services and stuff, and can actually sell websites. Like I'm an ISP, a reseller, so I could do that and then offer WordPress sites and start doing nothing but WordPress sites. I hate WordPress really because it has a lot of overhead and stuff, but I think it'll make the sites easier to design because you can use templates, and it looks nice, although they all look pretty much the same. That's the one thing I don't like about them, but they all look nice, and you can pick templates or let the client pick templates and then work off those. That's something that I could possibly train myself to do within a month, maybe even less. So I'm going to give some serious thoughts to learning WordPress and then offering those services, because I could do that remotely. and that would allow me to travel and do stuff for clients. I don't think doing WordPress websites alone is going to be enough to make a living, but it's a start, and it would allow me to be mobile, and it's actually not too hard, or I hope it's not too hard. We'll find out. I'll bring you along on that journey to see how that goes. We've tried a lot of different things, as far as money-making ideas, and some worked, some didn't. The real estate photography was a waste of time. The software testing did work, sort of, but, it's a one-time shot. So Craigslist is actually worth checking out. You might get a job, one-shot job for one day or a couple hours. That's not enough to live off, but it might be enough for gas money. So I'll be looking at Craigslist for work like that. I'm not going to do it right here because I'm not staying in Fort Pierce very long. I'm only planning staying here just today. Just wanted to come and look at this area because it's I used to hang out here when I lived in Port St. Lucie. I used to come up here with my fiance, and thought that I had put the stuff with my ex-wife behind me and was prepared to begin a new life. But as fate would have it, that wasn't meant to be. Still had ongoing issues with my ex-wife, DCF, the police. She just continued to cause trouble. And I ended up losing that relationship. So part of the reason for coming here was just me closing that out. I had lost my relationship with my wife of, we'd been married, I think, 14, 15 years. Had been together like 16 years. It wasn't like a new relationship. We were together like 16 years. And I took care of her and thought, she would be my forever wife. Produced 2 wonderful children with her. And I loved her. I still love her, but I could never live with her anymore or want anything to do with her because of what has happened. She's proved to be very dangerous to myself and even my friends, which is one of the reasons people, some people are wondering why my friends are not eager to help. They've seen it all and been through it, and they've seen what happens and how my ex behaves. And it's not a pretty picture. So people try to stay away from that. It's just a bit too much drama, too much craziness. But coming here, I had let all that go, or thought I'd let it go, and I guess I'm still letting it go. And coming here is giving me a chance to let go of my engagement to my fiance, because we met and lived together for like about a year and a half. And we're going to get married. And then all that stuff started up again with my ex-wife. I had a career, or what could have been a career. I had lost my career as a teacher. And that was tough because they plastered me all over the internet with lies, false allegations. Even though I pled, what the plea actually was and what they wrote is 2 different things. I pled to spanking my son once on the bottom and touching my ex-wife without her permission. That's what I pled to. It destroyed my career. Then I met my fiance, and she helped me to get a job with the post office. And that could have been a second career, It would, as you work as what's called a CCA. It's like part-timer, but they have you work sometimes like 60 hours. That's not really part-time. but they pay you like way less than they do the regulars, and you don't have any of the benefits and stuff. And they can fire you and let you go at any moment. But that's how the post office hires now. You work as a CCA, and if they like you, then you get on a queue for a waiting list to make regular. If they don't like you, they do stuff to get you fired, which is what happened to me, because I guess they didn't like me. You know, they put me into situations that were extremely dangerous, causing accidents, like sending me on a 150-mile round trip to do a delivery on routes I wasn't familiar with in the dark, on a vehicle with lights that didn't work. That kind of stuff. That's the kind of games they play. But anyhow, my fiance and I were engaged and had a wedding planned for the beach, and wow, something just popped out of that water there. I don't know if it jumped up or what, but it was huge. It looked almost like an explosion. I think it might have been a whale. Are you okay? Somebody just fell. Yeah, somebody just fell behind me. So, let's pause here because people are walking through. Alright, I decided to give that lady who fell, her and her friends, give them access to the swing. So these are plaques here for deceased people. Fort Pierce, I remember now, the jetty here, they allow you to put plaques, mementos and stuff for your deceased out here. So that's what all these are out here on these. And it's all lined up all the way out there. So the swings and all the stuff that they put up, this is all new. I wasn't here when I was here about 5 years ago. So as you can see here, there are plaques everywhere, pelicans, and now they put up the swings so people can swing down there. It's a really nice jetty. They even have fish cleaning stations here, because people fish on this jetty. See here, they have water and a little table where you can descale the fish. So it's really cool. What types of problems can occur from feeding water birds? They don't want people to feed these guys because then they start coming up to people. Look at that. 2, 4, 5 of them. These are the pelicans. Maybe not the exact same ones, but my son has a really cool picture with him and the pelican out here. And I think it was, in the same spot here. Just they've redone it, so it looks a little bit different. But what a cool spot for the pelicans too, huh? Sitting out here waiting for fish. Here's a plaque here for Jennifer Lombardo, wife, mother, grandmother, forever in our hearts. May the waves of our love be always with you. Oh, got all these birds. They apparently have little viewing telescope thingies that you can put money in and watch. And then there's the other side there. There's a beach access as well as the little parks over there with the pavilions. I had forgotten about how nice the Fort Pierce Inlet is. I guess because I was living in Jupiter, I always went to the Jupiter Inlet, and it's really nice there too. But they've really upgraded this one, and it looks a lot better. I mean, I think the Jupiter Inlet is better than this one, but this inlet now looks better than it used to. The beach looks eroded. Probably because of Hurricane Matthew coming through here, just like it did in Brevard County. Look at that boat coming through. I think this is why it was important for me to leave Brevard County, you know. And it's also why it's going to be important for me to leave Florida soon. Well, not soon, but eventually. There's a lot of memories here. Pretty much lived in Florida since 1985. Most of it in Brevard, some of it in South Florida. Between here and West Palm Beach. We'll go ahead and walk all the way to the end. It's like this water here is so pretty. It's like some of the flax flew off. I'm seeing a lot of plaques of people who died fairly young, about my age or even younger, or maybe 5 or 10 years older. You know, if nothing else, it shows us our mortality here. There's one from Lauren Lee K. Schaefer. She was born in 1973 and died in 2011. Anthony Oreo Jr. He was born in 1962 and died in 2005. So, for those of you who are wondering why I'm out here traveling, even when things aren't ready, and my finances are still somewhat messed up, this is why. You know, they say tomorrow is not promised. We don't know when the end will come for each of us. Only God knows that. But we can determine what we do each day that we are given. Now, I can choose to continue my struggle in Brevard. I've been back there for about 2 years, trying to fight for my children and getting nowhere, but actually going backwards and losing everything, including my career, my second career. Oh, look at the water hit here. It comes up and wets people if you're not careful. I'm just going to try to film it hitting, but it flies over. Those pelicans managed to stay in the same spot without getting smashed into the rocks. Look at that. See the pelicans out there just floating around? They are able to keep themselves from being pushed into the rocks. See this water splash up and get everybody all wet. Guess some people don't care about getting wet. This inlet's kind of interesting because they just have this paved walkway out here and then rocks. The the jetty over at Jupiter Inlet actually has like rail guards to keep people from falling in the water. Here we are, almost all the way to the tip here. See a little boat out there. Oh, I want to take all this in with me. Remember all this. Because with any luck, soon I'll be looking at deserts, and canyons, and forests, and mountains. So I better enjoy all this while I can. This is the end of the jetty. See a speedboat coming by there. And you can actually see the waves crashing on the rocks, and I think I hear them under the rocks. So they essentially just piled a bunch of rocks here, and you can see it has collapsed. Hope this doesn't collapse while I'm on it. You can hear the water under here. We're standing and see the water coming through. I can actually feel this area moving. So I think I'm going to get out. It's collapsing. But you can see how it cracked there along the edge and fell through. So they blocked it off. So only the foolish come this way. This is the little fence here, the little chain that says, hey, don't be stupid. Of course, I'm on the other side because I am stupid. Now, I don't think I'm super stupid. If I was super stupid, I think I would walk right out there all the way to the tip where the water's hitting. See how it's coming over the jetty? I'm not going to do that. There's the other corner, the other side that we saw water hitting. And the coastline. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Jetty Park over here at Fort Pierce. I hope you enjoyed your little visit, or our little visit. Isn't that great?